Anxiety disorders are the most common mental illness in the U.S., affecting 40 million adults in the U.S. age 18 and older, or 18.1% of the population every year. So I've had episodes of depression since I was probably about 12 or 13. And I'm talking about both depression and anxiety, even though the main focus of this talk is about anxiety, but they go hand in hand for me. And I started having panic attacks when I was in my early 20s, and they still happen. The most recent one was in December after the Rohatsu session. So I'm on an ongoing journey with depression and anxiety still, and it's very much a part of my spiritual practice. And the spiritual path is the best way that I've found to work with it, because it helps me to get out of my mind and to learn what's actually going on in my body and my mind, and to find some relief from it. So not everybody struggles with anxiety and depression, but I think these things are relevant because there are ways that we can work with these powerful emotions that can also be applied to any powerful emotions that we might be experiencing. And one thing about practice is that powerful emotions tend to come up a lot. And many people experience anxiety and not a lot of depression. And some people experience depression and not a lot of anxiety. For me, it's always been a combination. They've always been closely related. So, anxiety, another reason this is such a good topic is because I have a lot of anxiety about speaking to people, especially in groups. And so it can help to put that into words and say what it feels like. And so I've been able to get really intimate with those feelings of anxiety around this talk. So it feels really genuine and real to me. And what it feels like right now is kind of a tension in my belly and tension in my shoulders and neck. And that turns into thoughts of worry and feelings of ungroundedness in my body. And my heart rate speeds up, my breath speeds up and gets higher in my chest. So just being with those feelings. You know, when strong feelings come up, like anxiety and depression, we tend to think that they're something to get away from, something that we don't want to be feeling and experiencing, and that there's something wrong and we have to escape them. And but if we can just be with what's happening right now, be with the feelings and let them be without running away from them, they can shift. Putting our attention on what's actually happening in the body and feeling it for what it is, without trying to make it go away. The energy does shift. It's just like pain. Like if you're sitting and you feel pain when you're sitting, it can feel like you really want to shift your position, or that you can't wait till the end of the sitting period, because the pain can be so intense. But when I bring my attention to the point of pain and just feel it pulsing in my body, then it gradually shifts without my having to do anything. And so the same can be true for strong emotions. Just bringing our awareness to them, they gradually shift. And not everybody can feel strong emotions in their bodies. It comes with practice, or it's sometimes just not how our minds work. But anything that will help us to get out of our stories about strong emotions and back into the body and into the present moment uh, will will help those energies to shift. So you can do things like just being aware of the sensation of the breath coming in and out of the nostrils, or feeling how your body feels sitting on the cushion, feeling the sensation of your body against the cushion, your feet on the floor if they're on the floor, physical sensations in your body. There's often tension associated with anxiety and depression. For me, it's always that knot in my stomach, or there's this nerve or this muscle along the side of my face and neck and into my shoulder that tenses up. And so if I'm having anxious or depressed thoughts in my mind, there's usually going to be some tension in my body. And so I can bring my awareness to those things that are happening in my body. Breathe deeply into my belly. Bringing awareness back into the body and out of the mind helps to ground us and stabilize us out of strong emotions that seem so real, seem like what is reality. So what's actually happening in the mind when we're anxious? So first there are the facts of the situation, like what this video camera can see and record. Then there's how our mind interprets the facts, the stories that our mind tells about the facts. And it's like our mind wants to make sense of the facts and interpret it in a way that what does this situation mean to me? So that's the running commentary or the story about what's happening, which is separate from what's actually happening. What's actually happening is we're just sitting here right now in this room. Not a lot going on. But the mind wants to interpret it, and like my mind might be telling me a story about who am I to be saying these things. Or they probably don't like me. Or any number of things that could be going on in my mind, and the stories then about the situation is what we often tend to believe is the truth and believe is real. And then after that, there comes the reaction. So there's the facts, the interpretation, and then the reaction. And so we often take the story that we tell ourselves as the actual truth, and that's what we react to, is a story that's happening in our minds. And we forget the facts of the situation. Something that I came to in my journey with anxiety and depression is that I realized it's up to me what kind of attitude I want to carry around with me in my mind all the time. This is my life. This is my body. It's nobody else's. Nobody's going to come along and fix it for me or save me or tell me the right way to be. It's up to me. I'm responsible to decide what kind of thoughts I want to be carrying with me, how I want to see the world. This is my only life, this life right now. There might be reincarnation afterwards, or there might not. But right now, this is the life I have, and it's the only one I have, and it's precious. And it's up to me where I want to put my attention. Because where I put my attention influences, decides how I experience my life.